Good morning one and all. Today I am going to teach about limit cycle oscillation. In limit cycle oscillation, when quantizing an input infinite data to finite data, quantization error may occur. That is, a stable system may be converted into unstable system. Okay. Due to quantization, there may be some oscillation at the output also. These oscillations are known as limit cycle oscillation. Okay. Next we can see about zero input limit cycle oscillation. Okay. Here when a stable digital IIR filter is excited by a finite input sequence means the output will ideally decay to zero. Okay. That is, the finite input sequence is excited means the output will be ideally decay to zero. Here the non-linearity is due to the finite precision, that is arithmetic operations often cause periodic oscillations to occur, okay, in the output. Such oscillations in the recursive system are called zero input limit cycle oscillations. Okay. Next we can see about dead band. Here the limit cycles occur as a result of the quantization effects in the multiplication. Okay. The limit cycles occurs as a result of the quantization effects in the multiplications. The amplifier of the output during a limit cycles are combined to a range of values called dead band of the filter. That is, the amplifier of the output during a limit cycles are confined to a range of values called dead band of the filter. This dead band can be written as y of n is equal to alpha into y of n minus 1 plus x of n yq, that is quantization yq of n is equal to q of alpha into y of n minus 1 plus x of n. Again, q of alpha into y of n minus 1 can be written as y of n minus 1 for alpha greater than 0 and minus y of n minus 1 for alpha less than 0. In rounding, we can write it as q of alpha into y of n minus 1 minus alpha into y of n minus 1, that is less than or equal to 2 power minus b divided by 2. Here we can take y of n minus 1 commonly outside. So we will get y of n minus 1 into y 1 minus alpha less than or equal to 2 power minus b divided by 2. Again y of n minus 1 can be written as y of n minus 1 less than or equal to 1 by 2 into 2 power minus b divided by 1 by 1 minus modulus of, that is magnitude value of alpha. Next we can see overflow limit cycle oscillation. Okay. It is caused, this overflow limit cycle oscillation is caused by the addition of two or more binary numbers, okay, which make the filter output oscillation between the maximum and a minimum amplitude. Okay. This overflow limit cycle oscillation causes due to the addition of two or more binary numbers, which makes the output oscillate between maximum and minimum amplitude. This is the diagram. In this diagram, the total input is out of range between minus 1 comma 1 where the overflow will occur. This can be eliminated by, this problem can be eliminated by saturation arithmetic. Okay. By saturation arithmetic we can eliminate this problem. Okay. So in saturation adder or saturation arithmetic, when an overflow is detected, the sum of the adder is set equal to the maximum value. Okay. Once again, the transfer characteristics remains constant once when they reach the range minus 1 and 1. So from this diagram you can see that when it reaches 1 and minus 1, the transfer characteristics is constant. It remains constant. Okay. Next we can see signal scaling. Okay. In saturation arithmetic, it eliminates the cycles due to overflow, but it causes undesirable signal distortion. some undesirable signal distortion is caused in saturation arithmetic. Okay, this can be eliminated in signal scaling. Okay, due to non-linearity of the clipper, that undesirable signal distortion is caused due to the non-linearity of the clipper, that can be eliminated in signal scaling. In order to limit the amount of non-linear distortion, it is important to scale the input signal and the unit sampled response. We have to scale the input signal and unit sampled response between the input and any internal summing node in the system. So the diagram is like this. Okay, first you have h dash of z. Here the constant are minus a1, minus a2, b1, b2, b0, and the output is y of n. Next we can see from the diagram we can write the equation as h of z equal to s naught into b naught plus b1 into z power minus 1 plus b2 into z power minus 2 divided by 1 plus a1 into z power minus 1 plus a2 into z power minus 2. This can be written as, that is n of z divided by d of z, that is numerator divided by denominator into s naught. Again we can write h dash of z is equal to w of z divided by x of z, that can be written as s naught divided by d of z. Okay, h dash of z is equal to s naught divided by d of z. From this equation we can write w of z equal to s naught into x of z divided by d of z, that can be written as s naught into s of z into x of z, that is 1 by d of z can be written as s of z. Okay, 1 by d of z is equal to s of z. Again w square of n is equal to, from this equation we can write a w square of n is equal to, after taking inverse z transform, you can write it as s naught square divided by 4 pi square modulus of integral s of e power j theta into x into e power j theta into e power j n theta into d theta the whole square. Using Short's inequality, you can write this equation as w square of n is less than or equal to s naught square into 1 by 2 pi into integral 2 pi modulus of s of e power j theta the whole square into d theta into 1 by 2 pi integral 2 pi modulus of x of e power j theta the whole square into d theta. Again using Parseval's theorem, you can write it as w square of n is less than or equal to s naught square summation n is equal to 0 to infinity x square of n into 1 by 2 pi integral modulus of s of e power j theta the whole square into d theta. Here you can take it is z as e power j theta, and so from this equation we can write it as dz is equal to j into, we should differentiate with respect to theta. Okay, so dz equal to j into e power theta into d theta, and d theta is equal to, from this equation we can write it as d theta is equal to dz by jz. Again this values you can substitute in this equation, what is dz and what is d theta. Okay, you can substitute the value of d theta in this equation. So you will get w square of n is less than or equal to s naught square summation n is equal to infinity x square of n 1 by 2 pi j closed integral of modulus of s of z square into z power minus 1 into d of z. Okay, again in the next step you can write it as s naught square summation n is equal to 0 to infinity x square of n 1 by 2 pi j closed integral s of z the whole modulus of s of z square can be written as s of z into s of z inverse into z inverse into dz. Okay, here this s naught square is equal to that is S naught square is equal, that is 1 by 2 pi j integral S of z and S of z inverse and into dz is equal to 1. So we can take it as, when that this is equal to 1, you will have w square of n is less than or equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity x square of n. When this is equal to 1, here only this term x square of n you will get. So you can write S naught square is equal to 1 by 2 pi j closed integral S of z into S of z inverse into z inverse into dz. Again this S naught square can be written as S naught square is equal to 1 by 2 pi j closed integral z inverse into dz. This can be S of z and S of z inverse can be written as d of z and d of z inverse. Okay, divided by d of z and d of z inverse, because this we have already studied. S of z is equal to 1 by d of z. So we have written this one. Okay, this is equal to 1 by I. So scaling factor S naught is equal to 1 by I. So is a scaling factor x naught square is equal to 1 by I. So S naught is equal to 1 by square root of I. So here we have studied about saturation arithmetic, signal scaling at all, and we have derived the formula for signal scaling, that is signal scaling S naught is equal to 1 by square root of I. That's all. Thank you.